there.
It will.
Just like I'm sure your PhD is coming together.
It's coming together. I just keep going and I just don't stop. And I'm just like, it's coming together.
Yeah.
just go, go, go. Just do the work as it comes.
Pretty soon.
Submit it.
Pretty soon you're going to have to leave the podcast because you're too respectable of a doctor to talk about basic horror movies.
Yeah, the lowly horror genre films. Oh no.
You're going to want to only talk about quality horror, like
elevated horror.
Mr. Ari Aster and
oh jeez. Yeah, only elevated horror for me, please, because I'm a doctor now, so I can. Yeah,
we actually haven't done Ari Aster yet. He has a one of his very first things is on YouTube. It's just like a short film that people say is one of the most disturbing things they've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see about that, won't we, Sam?
Yeah, we'll have to investigate that.
Yeah, yes, we will. But hey, he did The Witch, right? Or am I wrong?
No, that was
fuck.
Yeah.
Acres.
That's another example of elevated
horror.
Unlike the movie we're talking about today, Terrifier 2. So I just want to point something out. After typing in the title of this movie so many times, I want to say Terrifier instead of Terrifier.
Terrifier. That's awesome.
Yeah, but Terrifier 2 is definitely not elevated horror. And that's probably why it's so beloved, because it's just, your typical 80s slasher movie.
Yes.
It has that vibe. Only less titty, which we talked about in, I think, the review we did of the first one late last year, which you can easily find because we're pretty slow on releasing episodes these days.
Yeah, if you just scroll down a little bit, you will find it. It's not like it's on page 2. It's probably on page first page.
No titty, but some peen.
Yeah, and you know what? That was fine with me, because sometimes when I'm watching a film, I get so caught up in how like crazy it is that I'm not like thinking in the back of my mind like, I haven't seen any boobies yet. Like there's been no nudity, like because there was none, I wasn't really like anticipating it. So yes, and so but I was glad that there was peen, which is fine. I would prefer that first before a boobie. Or a butt.
So. Oh, we did get some dude butt, and I could live my life never seeing Art the Clown's butt, but there it was.
You know what? That was bizarre. And I know we're moving ahead. We'll back up in a second, but I just want to make it the point of the fact that when he took off his clothes and was like naked, but we didn't see full frontal, just like the butt, I was like, is he like a person? I didn't think he had like human skin under there. You know what I mean?
we need to talk about Art the Clown and what he is.
Yeah. So anyway,
Terrifier 2 is a 2022 American slasher film written, directed, edited, and produced by Damien Leone. It is the sequel to Terrifier 2016, and it is the third feature-length film to feature Art the Clown. It features the return of David Howard Thornton, and Samantha Scafidi, who respectively portrayed Art the Clown and Victoria Hayes in the first film. And it stars Lauren Lavera, Elliot Fulham, Sarah Vogt, Kaylee Hyman, and Casey Harnett. The story follows Art's resurrection and pursuit of Sienna Shaw and her younger brother Jonathan on Halloween night, a year after the events of the first film.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So, off the bat, this movie went viral on TikTok for being so scary. It was making people leave the theater and throw up and
shit their pants.
We addressed it in like our first review of Terrifier. It's not that it's scary, it's that it's gory, and we need to be honest about what is making these scary movies scary, because people have a right to control their triggers.
Yes, and we will always say that, and I'm glad, Sam, that you repeat it every time. Like we have to be sure that it's gory, it's not scary. So let's really choose our words wisely here.
Which I'm fine with gore, but it might be the color grading of these movies or just the texture of the gore.
It's the sound
It's
too.
the
The
sound. Something
sound.
about it does make me squeamish.
Me
And
too.
I was thinking about it while I was in the shower an hour ago. Like
Yeah.
Scream 6, which I just saw last week, was definitely the goriest of the screams and
Oh,
pretty
nice.
gory on the scale
Okay.
of like horror in general these days. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, see, that didn't make me squeamish. That made me go, oh, ow. But I wasn't like, ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's just like
Yeah.
the texture of whatever they're using to make the blood and guts in these movies
Yeah. And
that
like the
just
prosthetic
triggers.
skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
Something about it's a little grosser. And
yeah.
I'll say if that's how they were doing it and people were getting nauseous and having to leave to throw up, I think Damien Leone accomplished something he wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. Like he mastered a goal that like I feel
Yeah.
like many a director want to hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, it was really I was drinking my coffee. I watched this first thing in the morning, and that might have had something to
Definitely.
do with it.
Yeah. That's how we do it here.
When they're playing with the dead possum in the hallway and they like pull out its stomach and it's like this weird sinewy latexy
Yeah.
material. I did not like that.
Yeah, everything is so soft.
Everything's so soft.
Oh, and I was like, oh, like, good Lord. Yeah, so everything, and we could definitely get into this more, like every
Mhm.
moment where there is like gross effects, which is like all the time.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah. But
that was the worst part.
all that being said, I don't think it was as graphic as people led me to believe. And I
Yeah.
like, do you feel that way too? Are we just like desensitized? Should we watch some lesser gory movies for a little while?
Like the you know what, the gore was really great, and I wanted to discuss like how like they really knocked it out of the park because you don't see stuff like this too often. Like the last time you and the thing about his gore is that it's like enhanced realistic gore, so it's like
Hmm.
realistic to a point and then it like is amplified, so that's why it's so gross and disgusting because you're like,
Yeah.
ah, shit, you shouldn't be able to pull apart a body like that.
Yeah.
um
Overkill is what I was thinking. Like,
yeah, and so I think because of that, Sam, that's why you and I are like, this wasn't as
mhm.
crazy as everyone thinks. But everyone else is like, oh my God, that must really be what happens. Like,
Yeah.
so I think we have an understanding. And I think that everyone else that was triggered or upset by the gore just didn't didn't prepare themselves by like watching other movies like this. You
Yeah.
know, they like it probably shocked them.
And I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. I don't think the penis mutilation scene was that bad. I don't
Dude, yeah.
I don't have a penis, but I can sympathize. I if I had one, I wouldn't want to see it. I don't know if you're familiar with Sleepaway Camp, but one of the kills in Sleepaway Camp,
I didn't see that. I'm sorry. Yeah, but what is it?
a girl dies by
Yeah.
via asphyxiation when the killer shoves a hot curling iron up her hoo-ha.
Oh.
Now the director swears up and down that's not how she dies, but you see the killer put a pillow over her face, grab the
Uh-huh.
curling iron and lower it down. What am I supposed to assume? She's just putting it on her leg? No.
Like on
So
her foot.
like to me, that's horrifying, even though you don't see it. You can imagine the
Yes.
400-degree curling iron going up there and how
Oh
that's gonna
God.
feel. So I
Awful.
expect like, people without vaginas sympathizing with me there.
Yes.
But
Yes, definitely.
I don't know. I just, as far as like everything else in the movie went, the
Yeah.
penis mutilation was not
That may
that
have been the
graphic.
most tame,
Yeah.
honestly.
Because
Actually, if
that
we're
that
gonna,
was all that
yeah.
happened to the guy, right? Like,
He just got stabbed in the pee pee, and then we didn't see his pee pee when he was peeing.
mhm.
And I thought that he was going to just have the penis out because once he peed, I was like, oh no, this is that penis scene where they're going to cut it off or something. And he didn't even like have a prosthetic until like after the fact. So no, Sam, he only got stabbed in that area. They pulled the pee pee off. That's it. Did he die from that? Maybe he bled to death. I don't know what's going on.
I'm asking some medical professionals right now if
He probably
they're
bled out, but like, did
I'm
Art
gonna
like shoot him? You know
I'm
what I mean?
gonna assume he bled out because the penis does have that really thick vein going
The
up
art,
it.
yeah, the vein, like, and also because you're like your hips right here and like your thighs have like two veins in each leg that are arteries. Two veins, they're arteries. And so maybe he like stabbed that because he was stabbing like super duper deep with the knife or whatever. But it wasn't like he also cut his throat in addition to that. It was just the pelvis.
Yeah. Like
so
there is
maybe he was so shocked that he died.
Yeah, probably bleeding out in shock. One of my nurse friends says, yes, someone can bleed out from a severed penis. So
well, that'll do it then.
You heard it here first. He probably bled out.
He bled out, guys. Rest in peace, guy.
So, with all that out of the way, we'll get back into it in a couple minutes here. Let's talk about acting.
Okay, excellent. Yes.
So, in general, this movie, the first movie had a budget of $35,000.
Yeah.
And this one had a budget of $250,000.
And you know what? You can tell, and it makes all the difference.
And everything with this movie is elevated, and that's what I was hoping for. I liked this movie a lot more than the first. Not that the first one was bad for $35,000.
Yeah, but this one I liked it so much better too.
Yeah, you felt more of a community. Like they kept talking in the first movie, like before it flashed back to the Miles County Massacre. They're like, the Miles County Massacre, but there were only 5 people in Miles County. So
I know. Population 10 people.
Yeah. But this time you're actually in a town and you feel like you're in a town. There's so many people. And the acting is better. But I do have a lot of criticism, which probably falls more into writing than acting.
Okay.
So Damien Leone is a man. We can assume he's a man. And I can verify that he's a man with one simple thing. Sienna is falling asleep before the super drawn out clown nightmare. She is sleeping on the decorative pillowcase.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh shit.
She's sleeping on the pillowcase that matches her bedspread. And any woman or gay man or non-binary person who understands this knows
you sleep on the underneath pillow.
You sleep on the underneath pillow, not the pillow that matches your bedspread, because that is the decorative pillow.
Yeah, that's for decoration only. So, Jesus. That's wonderful.
Small details like that. The other thing, the weakest acting for me comes from the mother, the woman principal, and the teacher in the hallway. Dude. Because I don't think Damien knows how to write women in a position of authority. They are just all bitches.
They're all like freaking the fuck out all the time. Too. I'm like, wow.
Like, what the hell's going on here? You fucking kid.
Why is she saying the fuck word constantly at her children?
Her traumatized children who just lost their father in this gruesome way. Why are you being fucking weird?
I know, she's like, you're fucking stupid. You're fucking grounded for your stupid fucking, shit. I don't know, but
So that's my biggest complaint. Like, I don't think Sienna was written poorly. I don't think her 2 friends were written poorly. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think Damien knows how to write women in positions of power without making them bitchy. Like, there's no reason for the teacher to immediately freak out when Jonathan is running back to class after a dead possum is thrown at him.
Yeah. They just are all like out of control. Like they're all
on their last straw.
Yeah, like they're all on their last straw the whole time. And it's like, it's almost like they're like gonna like have a heart attack. You know what I mean? Like their head's gonna explode. I'm like, Jesus, why are they like so angry? Just chill. God. So that is I couldn't wait to talk about the mom. Like, good God, man.
She was the worst actress, but I can't necessarily blame her. I just think
she did her best with
it was just she had moments of tenderness that I thought were good, but just the way she would flip a switch instantly.
Yes.
And that's not her fault. That's the fault of the writer and director.
It is. So it made me think that, like, yeah, because of like the moments of tenderness, instead of her being like freaking out all the time, it made me think that she was like mentally ill.
Hmm.
So I'm just like,
Yeah.
God, jeez.
Like the only time I thought her freak out was justifiable was when she saw her car.
Yeah, but she called like her daughter to complain and like
Yeah.
got mad at her. Like, you know what I mean? Like she became like so angry,
Yeah.
and like Sienna couldn't do anything about it. So like, but yeah, the car was like really, really messed up with the shaving cream.
Yeah.
Oh, oh God. But she freaked out over every little thing. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. She she was a she was
Yeah.
a piece of work, but let's go ahead and talk about Sienna, our final girl.
Oh, she was so excellent. I think she did a
I
great
did.
job.
I thought so too. I thought she was
Yeah.
a great final girl, especially compared to what we got in the first film. I think
Yeah.
these movies are 6 years apart. I do think, with
Yeah.
the exception of what I complained about, Damien has grown as a writer.
Uh-huh.
So it all meant something. They weren't just like pigs out for the slaughter. Like, he gave them good character backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Because Vicky in the first film, she's technically our final girl.
Right.
She is there for a single phone call, isn't there for the rest of the movie. The Nev Campbell lookalike, her sister or best friend, gets murdered, and then she comes in for the last 15 minutes.
Right.
So we don't spend a lot of time with our final girl, so we don't really root for her. We know she survives based on the TV interview at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Sienna Shaw fits in with like your general final girl, and I liked her a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I did too. I thought she
And
was very cool.
her relationship with her younger brother felt natural,
It did.
and I liked her younger brother. Usually kid characters are super annoying, but I thought he made sense.
He did. Yeah, he was cute.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought she was fantastic. I can't wait to see her in the third movie, assuming she's coming back. I hope he
Mm-hmm.
comes back.
Yeah.
Um, and you know what? Maybe her friend, Allie, the first friend that died, maybe she'll fucking come back.
Yeah, maybe somehow, Sam,
Because
she'll come back from all that.
I need to talk about Allie. She has great final girl potential, because I every time I was like, how the fuck is she still alive? Because she
Yeah.
her face got slashed in half, which I really
Uh-huh.
liked. That was a good effect.
It was
Um,
cool,
and
but
then
that's not all.
she gets fucking scalped. Her
Yeah.
arm gets ripped off. She
He
gets
stabs her in
stabbed
the back a bunch of times,
7
like in the
times,
spine.
and then she manages to like get up and crawl to a phone before he comes back
Yeah.
and rips off part of her face.
Yeah, and then like I don't know if he had decapitated like a leg or two, like in the meantime, when before her like the mom finds her in the bed.
He was in the process of decapitating her leg when the
Yeah.
mom comes home, and she's
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh my god!" And Allie says, "Mom, somehow still fucking alive." So
Yes.
I think Allie has great final girl potential.
Okay.
I just hope they take her to a different face reconstructionist than they took Vicky.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job with Vicky. In
I
fact,
don't
they made her worse, and
I
now
don't
she's
think
like
they even tried.
insane. They did not. They were just like, let's let the skin just heal over.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Um,
Yeah.
and then the other friend, I don't know if the other friend was a good actress or not, but I liked her
Brooke.
face.
I
Yeah,
did like her face. She had like a really nice pronounced jaw, and
she
her
did.
mouth was very pretty, and she had
She
nice
did.
teeth.
And like just the way her face moves made her a really good, like, the mean best friend, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I hope to see her in more stuff where she's the mean best friend.
Yes, yes. But
Um,
she has died though, so rest in peace.
and crazy enough, I think her boyfriend was one of the best
He
actors
was
in the movie.
he was very nice. All he was just there to have a good time. He's acting like a dude,
Mm-hmm.
doing dude stuff.
And like, he was so nice to Sienna when she had
Very
that freak
nice.
out.
Yeah, and he
Uh,
was like, I'll drive you to the fucking carnival. I don't care. I'm
I'll
not
take
doing
you to the
anything.
ER.
I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Not doing anything tonight.
Yeah, that was basically it. And I thought he was pretty good.
I think so too. Yeah. He did a good job.
R.I.P. His penis, though.
Yeah, and
Although,
you know what?
he might be alive, but he definitely doesn't have a penis anymore.
Can they do something about that?
So probably we have come a very long way in gender affirming
Right.
surgeries.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like a new
I'm
penis?
not sure how penis
You should text
reconstruction.
your friend. Can we have a new one?
Probably, like, I know when,
Hmm.
a trans male chooses to get bottom surgery, it's
Yeah.
relatively easy to do. There are different options they can do, but that's because the female sex organs are
Yeah.
just the inverted, like, male sex
Yes.
organ.
They are
So
really.
they
Yeah.
just have to flip them out. But I think we've come far enough that,
Flip them
they
back
could
in.
probably do a penis reconstruction.
That's yeah. If they even if like they found the penis left behind,
Yeah.
like me, you know how like they can reattach like a finger, or
Yeah.
if you get cut off in a couple hours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I
Just
did
a
just
thought.
finish watching Sex/Life season 2 last week.
What is that show about? Because you keep talking about it, and I haven't even looked it up yet.
It's about
About sex.
sex and life
Oh, okay, cool,
and a
cool.
woman who can have it all.
Oh, wonderful.
But the ex-husband gets into a car crash with his guy friend who's getting his junk sucked off by a hooker. And when they get in a car crash, the penis is in her mouth, so she bites it off. But
Oh,
they're able to reattach it, and
yeah,
they put, and this is definitely something they do for trans men.
yeah, yeah.
One of the options, if you go like one way with one of the
Mhm.
options is getting the clit extended into a penis, and then
Oh,
the other one is I guess in like outverting everything. And
outverting everything. Yeah.
one of the options is you can put like a little pump in one of the testicles
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah. I have heard of
create an
that.
erection.
Yes, I know about that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
they could do that for the
they could
boyfriend.
help him. They could
Yeah.
help him out if he wanted to
But I
still
there's
be
a very
active.
big scene in Sex/Life season 2 where the guy is in the locker room like, watch this.
Wait, is there like nudity and stuff? Is there penis nudity in
Yeah,
that
there's
show?
a couple
Really?
penis scenes. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's interesting that you say that the in the scene with the blowjob, she has the penis in her mouth and she bites it off in the accident. That they fucking copied off of American Gods season 1 or beginning of season 2, which came out over 10 years ago. And I think they copied off of Neil Gaiman's writing
I
because
mean,
they did it
probably.
first here, folks.
Probably.
And it happened, and that's how this girl died. And they found the penis like still in her mouth or whatever.
Damn.
But yeah, that's cool that they like got inspired by that because it's like different, I guess.
Anyway, if
Anyway.
anyone who's had gender affirming surgery wants to correct us on how I described the penis pump,
Email us.
email us, leave it in the comments, tweet at us. I'm open to education. I'm just repeating things I've heard trans
Yeah.
activists talk about. So,
Instagram at us. Yeah, anything. Please just
just
let us
giving
know.
options to Brooke's boyfriend should he survive.
Yeah, because we don't know. He could be okay if the ambulance has come.
Yeah.
But yeah, who else is there? Oh wait, you know what? One real quick. The teacher, not the actually, I think it's the exact same one that got upset at the kid whenever he got the opossum thrown at him in school, like inside the school. Did you notice that like before the opossum was inside the school, they had a shot of her and she had like no bra on underneath her button-up shirt? Did you notice that?
I didn't.
They had like this shot where she has a blazer and a button up and she like puts her hands on her hips and like puts her chest out, and they like do a shot of her chest and there's no bra, and I was like, why would you wear no bra to school?
So there were titties in this movie.
Yeah, but like I don't know if that was to be funny or if Damien Leone like thinks that's how school is when you're a woman in power.
I mean, if I was a woman in power, I wouldn't wear a bra. See what they do about it.
Yeah, but it's like little kids, and well, it looks like a middle school, high school, so like all of the kids.
Yeah.
But I guess if you don't give a fuck, whatever.
The last one, the little clown girl. What the fuck
Yeah.
was her point?
You know what? Yeah, I know, because I thought like this whole time, like real quick, guys, I'm going to speed ahead with just one little sentence, but I thought that they were going to for the path that Art the Clown was Sienna's like dad
I was thinking
reincarnated,
that too.
and that was supposed to be like her at like her spirit animal girl as like a little girl, and that's why he would draw that. But it turns out that she's just like the spirit ghost girl of the first girl he killed, but like she didn't need to be there because she didn't really exist. So like I don't
No.
fucking know.
I think she provided another poop scene at the beginning, which
Oh yeah.
Damien,
Oh,
Damien, my brother in Christ,
I forgot.
please,
That's his speciality.
please drop the poop.
Poop scene. Not
I don't like it.
not just poop, like water diarrhea.
Yeah. Like
Okay?
I can handle everything else in this movie, but I draw the line at diarrhea.
I also draw the line at like diarrhea, but the person's like not sick. So like there's no point in having sick poop if you're not ill. Like everyone's totally fine. They just do that for fun. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't find that very fun, but the fuck?
I don't.
But the poop. Christ. On the floor. Poop on the floor.
But yeah, and also you could tell me the little girl was played by Dakota Fanning, and I would believe you because she had a very similar vibe to Dakota Fanning when she was little, and I also refuse to accept Dakota Fanning's not 8 years old anymore, even though we are the exact same age.
Right. And you know what? I'm looking at I think the girl that played her, she this is like her first role. I think it's at introducing Emily McLean. I may be wrong.
Who's the parent that signed off on it?
I don't know. Probably a parent that loves horror movies.
Yeah.
Or a stage mom. I don't know. And maybe this little girl loves scary stuff and Halloween. I don't know. It's either one way Sam, like they love it and they want to do it, or the parent forces them to do it, as a child actor.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other thing.
I'd be more willing to bet the parent forced them to do it because they are a child. And also, I guess it's not too bad because the little girl wasn't actually present for any of the super intense horror scenes.
Yes, and she was very scary. So she did a good job at like doing her thing, but yeah, other than that.
Oh, her official name is the Little Pale Girl.
Yeah, but you know what? In the cast thing on IMDb, she's credited as Emily Crane, who that is the girl that's like the dead girl that was killed. So it's like when she is in makeup, she's a Little Pale Girl. So you're right. So there's two different names.
So I guess let us get into story.
Yes, let us.
There actually is one in this movie.
Yes, there is, and it's like really pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. The story follows our final girl, Sienna, who is still grieving the loss of her father, who died a year or so earlier to the events of the movie. And her little brother, who is also dealing with their father's death in his own personal way. He's gotten super into like serial killers and all that shit because his dad was apparently getting super into serial killers and all that shit right before he died.
Yes.
And their single mom who's just doing her best. She's an at-home insurance sales consultant or risk management consultant.
On her Mac all day.
She's trying so hard.
Yeah, she has like one phone call a day and it's really stressful. Super hard.
Super duper hard.
Very.
And she swears and cusses at her children over the smallest things.
Yeah, and like not just cusses, like shit, but fuck.
Yeah. But no spoilers intended, but I'm glad she died because I think Sienna is going to provide a much healthier environment for Jonathan to grow up in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when she did die, I was like, you know what? Like it's better this way because she's just going to traumatize them when they come home.
I know. Like, why were you out so late?
Yeah,
what
like,
the fuck is up with that?
Blood and dirt on you. Why the fuck did you go to the Halloween party? What the fuck is wrong? Like, why are you like just degrading stuff? And it's like, woman, This is why your husband has killed himself.
Yeah,
It's you.
imagine what she was saying to her brain tumored husband.
I know. Like, why the fuck are you acting so crazy?
Mm-hmm. And Sienna falls asleep that night to a scary movie, because that's all they're doing in this not a scary movie, to a clown cafe commercial, which is one
Yeah.
of the worst commercials I can imagine.
And it turned into like a music video, which made me immediately uncomfortable because it took me it like made me think that I was watching like a cartoon, and Sam knows how I feel about this. So it's like cartoons and musicals and like also musical numbers in any movie I can't abide. So I was like,
You like
so
musicals.
that was the most that was like the most uncomfortable I think I was the whole movie, is like when they were doing the song and then they were singing and then like they weren't done after the first verse. There was like 3 verses and I was like, okay, we can finish now. Like finish the song now, please.
Yeah, that so this movie comes in at 2 hours and 18 minutes, and when I saw that, I was like, for what? And it was for this whole fucking
for the music video.
It was my least favorite part of the movie. Like, I was like, okay, this is creepy.
It is creepy.
All right, it's still going. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, there's Art the Clown. It should be over soon.
Musicals, you're right. It's just some.
And you're gonna like cartoons when you realize it's just another fucking medium a story in which is told.
Yes, I suppose you're right. But anyway, yeah, it just went on forever, this clown cafe thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, actually in the song,
I think it was like a solid 10 minutes.
It was like 10 to 15 minutes, I'm telling you, this whole scene. And it was a dream, and I was like, okay, wake up, Sienna, wake up from the dream.
And then Art the Clown does his thing with his semi-automatic rifle
gun, and I was like, here it is. Here's the gun again,
which I'm still not a huge fan. Like,
yeah, when he whips out a gun randomly, I'm like, can you stop that? You have a fucking giant garbage bag filled with things, and you have to use the gun.
And I'll address this now because it'll come up at some point. Ghostface does wield a shotgun at some point in Scream 6. However, it kind of makes sense because they're in a bodega and he takes the shotgun from the shopkeep that he just like stabbed to death.
Okay, don't say anything else because I didn't see it yet. But that's okay. But like that's cool. But like Art the Clown just
he just has one. He's just strapped.
He's just strapped all the time, and then it's like bigger guns every time.
And it doesn't feel right for the type of character they want him to be.
Yeah, every time he has a gun, I'm just like, okay, Italian mob.
Yeah, like his closest counterpart in media would be Pennywise, and you wouldn't see Pennywise
with like a little gun, like a big gun. It's weird.
Yeah. So it's weird that this mystical clown demon uses
that's like a rifle or whatever he had.
Yeah. Like, as silly as I thought the Cat of Nine Tails whip was in the first movie, and it does make a comeback in this one, and I like it better in this one.
Right.
Because I think he knows how to use it better, the actor, the director, everybody.
Yeah.
I like that for his signature weapon, because that's super unique and weird.
Yeah, because he like makes his weapons. So he just spends all this time making weapons, and then he's a gun. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You didn't make that gun. That's not a homemade gun.
You didn't make it. Don't forget about all the stuff you just made, buddy.
Yeah. And so anyway, after the 15-minute dream sequence that could have been cut down to 5.
I know.
They were like, we paid for this set, we're gonna use it.
Yeah, exactly.
But Sienna wakes up and her room's on fire because I guess the candles lit themselves.
Wait, this is another thing that I think I would like to add on to what you said regarding a man directing a woman who falls asleep in bed with like the decorative pillow on top. Yes, women like candles and things like that, but they will not have candles and then place something flammable directly above all the candles inside the room. Like they just won't do it because women can do the brain and think. And they'll put their wings away from the candles or vice versa. So
let me write that down. That's
so you like that? Excellent.
Yeah, that's a potential title.
And think. That's a good one, but you never know what this movie is fucking insane.
So then we go to school. The mom is pissed that the daughter set
Why?
her room on fire.
Yeah, I mean, what else?
Um,
What else
so,
is
but
new?
they go to school. Some more establishing like exposition, going over what happened. So it's the morning of the interview with Vicky on TV, and so they talk about, oh my god, that girl with the fucking face killed the talk show host. Isn't that
Right.
crazy?
That was cool how I didn't realize that this movie was like the next literal day from
Yeah.
after the first one. So that was very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So that was a nice detail. I liked that.
I like that.
Um, then we just go into the costume the costume shop scene.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that Halloween store. So this is
yeah,
what, like you said, we have the community happening. So there's stores and school and
yeah.
home.
I thought the costume shop stuff dragged on a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
he was very good at his job, but I don't think anyone working at Spirit Halloween would offer you a bigger bag for your wings. They would be like, "Do you want to carry these, or do you want a bag?" And then you would
Right,
say, "I'll
yes.
just carry them."
Or sometimes all they have is like the extra large bag, so they just put all your shit in
Yeah.
that bag, and like that's that. So yeah.
And Art the Clown is just a fucking asshole because before he kills
Yeah.
the cashier, he has to make his life annoying.
Yeah, by like putting the stuff like in his mouth to blow on it, like the
Mhm.
noisemaker or whatever.
Like the poor
Um,
guy's working Halloween weekend,
it's
probably
literally
dealing.
Halloween night. Like it's
It's
literally
Halloween night. The poor guy's already dealing with so much shit, and this asshole comes in,
I know.
squonking on all the horns.
And then like taking forever to pay
Hmm.
when he's about to close, which
Yeah,
is extremely stressful.
yeah. No one deserves that.
No, he just wants to clean up, which is going to take him 45 minutes because everyone touches all the shit and he has to put it back and then he can finally go home.
Yeah, and enjoy his own Halloween.
Yeah, and maybe he'll have enough energy to enjoy it, Sam, but he might just go home and go to sleep
Yeah,
because he
because if Art the Clown wasn't the asshole customer,
yeah,
someone else would have been,
exactly.
and
And
he would just
maybe
want to take a nap at home.
right. So because of that, the kiddies don't get to have the he doesn't hand out any candy
Hmm.
because he just leaves it out on the chair. So yeah, if he has any.
Yeah.
So, and then he kills that guy.
So when Sienna gets home, Jonathan shows her the sketchbook of their dad's visions of Art the Clown and all his killings and all of this. And he apparently created this character that Sienna's dressing as for Halloween, this sexy warrior angel woman.
Yeah, like almost like Xena warrior princess, but with wings.
Yeah. Because I
Right?
guess
Yeah.
her dad
Something.
had this vision that she was going to be the one to kill Art the Clown, and he gave her this really cool sword to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And the boys grounded from the whole possum incident at school where they found a possum, and then Art the Clown and the pale little girl found the possum and brought it into the school and just ate it in the middle of the hallway.
Yeah, they just eat stuff.
Yeah.
Like they basically would just eat stuff
Mm-hmm.
randomly, like people
Yeah.
or the dead
So
animal.
he's grounded because he's being accused of the dead animal
Yes.
incident, and
Because he could be, yeah.
his mom is very understanding naturally.
Yes, yes, she's like free. She's already on her last leg because of work that day.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to go and make everything worse, like he always does, I
Yeah.
guess. So,
So
and she's like, I have had it. I'm taking him to a child psychiatrist because everyone's fucking insane.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, yeah.
And so Jonathan tries to convince his mom of the same thing after Sienna leaves for the party in her angel warrior costume. And
Mhm.
she's like, no, your father wasn't having visions. He had a brain tumor. And she rips up the notebook. And Jonathan decides to run away from home to get Sienna and try and convince her that Art the Clown is back.
Yeah,
And he saw him, and she's the one that can stop him. And the
yeah.
mom sees her car completely vandalized, pumpkin thrown on it, to toilet paper, shaving cream, the
Mhm.
works.
And it says bitch on
Yeah.
it, like as if someone wrote it with their finger in the shaving cream, and she's
So
like so mad.
so she calls her daughter, who's rolling on Molly because her friend put half a tab of Molly in her whiskey, which don't do that to your friends. for
And
the
she's
love of.
also on like antidepressants and like
Yeah,
Xanax and all this
if you
crazy
know your
shit.
friends are on antidepressants, don't drug them.
Oh my God, they might have a stroke. Like,
Ask
for real.
them first.
Yeah, ask them first, like, do you want party drugs? Yes or
Or
no?
will this cause you to have a seizure?
Right, like, will this interfere with your medicine
Yeah.
that's prescribed to you?
Yeah.
Because everyone's fucking insane in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the mom calls Sienna, and Sienna's like, you know what? I love you, Mom. I don't say it enough. And her mom says, oh, well, I love you too, which I did think was a very nice moment and shows maturity on Damien Leone's part of writing these characters. He wanted to give that like nice little moment between mother and daughter.
Yeah.
And then as the mom's cleaning the car, Art the clown blows her head off with a sawed-off shotgun.
Dude, was he in the car that whole time?
Probably. He's very patient.
Yeah, that was a while.
What if she never came out to clean the car?
What if she's like, fuck this, I'll clean it tomorrow, and he'd just sit there all night?
She could have saved the town by doing that.
Yeah, she could. She actually could have. He just would have been stuck in the garage with the sawed-off shotgun. There we go, another gun.
And then Sienna has her
explode.
Yeah. And as we said, Sienna has her seizure on the dance floor. So her friend Brooke and her boyfriend try and drive her home. And he's like, I can take her to the ER if we're worried she's gonna have another seizure. And she gets a call from the subtitles.
Oh, the pale girl.
Yeah, the subtitles ruined this for me and said it was the demon girl calling.
Oh, the demon girl.
Yeah. So the demon girl calls, disguising her voice as Jonathan's, and he's like, we went to the carnival and I got locked in. Come save me.
Locked in.
Yeah, and the boyfriend says, yeah, let's go get her brother from the carnival. It's not a big deal. Sienna gets out of the car and her friends stay behind, which I thought was douchey of both of them, but you got to have the hot makeout session in a horror movie.
Of course.
So she looks for her brother, and he quote unquote tells her we're at the Terrifier ride.
That was very cool. Like the little haunted house in the fair.
That was a really cool set design. Like,
Sam, that wasn't a set design. They went to a haunted house and they filmed there. Ooh. That's one thing I do know about this movie. It's in Philly.
That's so cool.
I don't know which one. I got to look it up for you, but I listened to an interview with Lauren LeVere and she discussed that they filmed at a haunt. Isn't that a fucking badass?
That's so cool.
I know.
See what a bigger budget can do for you?
Yes, let's rent that shit out for like 2 weeks. Film there. It's so cool. But yeah, the set design, it was not theirs, but yes, it was incredible because yeah. Oh yeah.
And this is where we enter the final part of our movie.
Act 3.
The boyfriend gets his dick cut off. Brooke gets beaten to death.
If he didn't have to pee, he may still be okay.
Yeah.
He would have been okay, but he had to go urinate.
Yeah. And then Brooke almost dies, but she's the final girl. So she gets up, fights Art, falls down to hell at some point, is put into a Houdini water escape trap, and the magical final girl powers.
Oh yeah, she drowns in there, but the final girl powers, she has powers through that blade.
Yeah.
Like the knife.
And so she
fixes her, yeah.
She drags herself out of hell just before Art the clown is able to eat Jonathan, and she takes the sword and decapitates Art, rescues Jonathan, and the pale little girl takes Art's head and leaves without attacking Sienna and Jonathan. And then we have the mid-credits scene, which shows our final girl from the first movie giving birth to Art's head after writing Vicky plus Art and other obscenities in her vaginal blood all over the wall. I
didn't know that she was pregnant. I thought, well, first of all,
I thought she was on her period and we were going to have a discussion about how periods work.
Me too. But like before that, Sam, she was like puking, like, and the puke filled up the whole toilet.
Oh God. That's fine. It's not poop. I can.
That like, but like for no reason, like shit.
Yeah.
Unless it was because she was, but I didn't know that she was like pregnant at all. But I thought that was period blood, and I was like, no one bleeds that much. So, yeah, I didn't know there was a mid-credit scene. That's why I was late.
Oh,
Because I said 10 minutes when it was still like before the
oh
credits,
yeah.
and then like I always fast forward in case there is mid credit, and there was, and I was like, fuck, I gotta watch the
Yeah, no,
thing.
you're
So
fine. But yeah, it's setting up part
number
3, I
three,
guess.
it is. There will be a number three.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how part 3 works. Maybe it'll just be
Yeah.
Vicky doing the killing, carrying Art's head around,
Yeah.
or is he going to grow his body back?
I'm assuming that his body will just grow out of the head,
Ugh.
and he'll just forever never die. Unless they have to kill her. She'll be like the henchman, but then what about the pale girl? How did the head get from the pale girl's hands to
Into
the womb of the other woman?
I guess we'll find out, or probably not. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
Were there
We
two
might get,
heads?
we might see Sienna and Jonathan researching, Art the clown the way you always have to research the creepy clowns in these movies.
Absolutely. They go on Google and they research it, and they immediately find like the answer.
Look at these old pictures from Derry with Pennywise the
Yep.
clown just in the background.
Yeah, it's like nobody ever noticed that before. Crazy. Yeah, so literally that's going to be it. Hopefully
Probably.
they do return because they're very cool, but it could be like a thing where it's like years later and maybe the kid's older, or they'll just do it like in 1 year or in a day. Or
I mean, who knows? Maybe Sienna will die and Jenna Ortega will take her spot.
whoa, I mean, listen, the way that things are going for Jenna Ortega, I would not be surprised.
I just hope Jenna Ortega doesn't burn herself out. She is doing all these projects back to back to back, and she's
Dude,
only 20 years old.
I know, and
Like,
she is doing the Beetlejuice thing, isn't she?
I know she's
Like,
been asked, but I kind of hope she says no because I think that character will end up being too close to Wednesday.
I think I saw that she is doing it. I saw something very recently, Sam. I think I saw like a poster or like an article. I don't know. We'll have to do
Well,
some
I guess
research
I
after.
guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But production wise, we talked about the gore, how
Oh,
squishy it is, and like,
incredible though. Did a great
yeah.
job.
So I get like the squishiness of it made me nauseous. So I get if you're not into gore, how that will make you sick.
Yeah, like this made me grossed out. It did.
Like it's kind of, so I went to wildlife camp, which is a Christian camp.
What?
Kind of forced on me as a child. It was a cool camp. Like some of the best food I've ever eaten was at that camp.
Yeah. Did you do like Bible stuff in the evening and like activities in the day?
Yeah, and one of the activities during the day was a food fight with dog food. And
Oh.
that sickened me to have that all over me. So maybe that's why
The
the squishiness and all of that in this movie
yeah.
makes me nauseous, because that made me sick. And something about the texture of this gore is very similar.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's gross, yeah.
I don't think it was as gory as the first movie. Like
Was it? Yeah, I can't remember the first movie that good.
like
I know it was gory.
It's really, it's just really hard for me to say that this movie was, oh yeah, this is so shockingly gory, because I've watched worse movies. I watched a Serbian film, not to be a film bro or anything.
Right.
And the point of a Serbian film was to be as disgusting as they could possibly be. So even though it did make me nauseous, I don't think it was top tier, one of the goriest movies I've ever seen.
You know, that makes sense to me because there was a whole lot of like full body gore and dismemberment and like gross stuff in the first one. But this one, it was gory. But I think in addition to the gore, it had like other stuff that was making people like cringe.
Yeah.
And that would be him throwing acid on the girl's face, him dumping salt on the wounds of the one girl, like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the salt.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that kind of thing, supplementing like the gore that's already happened, is making people be like, oh, it's so gory, it's getting more gory. It's like, that's actually not gore. It's just making you more cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also a longer movie, so there's more space in between. So maybe that's why I feel that way too.
Maybe that too. I feel like maybe they're very close to equal, Sam, though, because I remember, and I feel like this one, and maybe it's just me and we're a little bit different this way, but this one made me like more cringy than the first one a little bit. Maybe it's because it was longer and there was more people to kill, and it was just like kept going. But and there was only, of course, like 5 people in the first movie.
Yeah, I forgot
and he
about
shot most of them. So
yeah, I forgot about the salt in the wound scene. Like that's just another thing that makes Art just a fucking asshole.
Yeah, like, ouch. That would
But
alone kill me.
I guess realistic aspects of
Oh
this
my
movie,
God.
brain tumors.
Oh yeah, I was like having a father with a brain tumor who
um,
you think is insane, and he drinks a whole bottle of whiskey and drives into a transformer, and the car catches on fire and he burns to death, and everyone can hear him screaming in town, and he dies that
mhm.
way.
Having
Uh,
a mom
a
that's
mom
just
that's fucking
a,
insane
a bitch all the
or
time.
verbally abusive constantly, but
Yeah.
doesn't think anything is wrong with that.
Being drugged by your friend.
Yeah. Accidentally setting like stuff on fire in your house
Hmm.
could possibly be a thing. Oh, how about this one? This was a commentary they had in the beginning. People dressing up as like mass murderers and stuff,
Hmm.
as a costume or for fun when it's
Yeah.
insensitive. So that
Yeah.
was
I think the trivialization of true crime uh
yeah.
is a real horror show. I remember when that Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie came out, and I saw people who are super
Dude.
into true crime complaining that they didn't show him committing any of the actual murders.
That's what I'm saying. I watched that, Sam, and they like didn't have him do anything. It was just like mostly Zac Efron just like being handsome and then
Yeah,
going to prison and then breaking out of prison like he does. And it
and
was just
that was
stupid.
the point of the movie, is
Sam.
to show
Ugh,
Ted Bundy, but you don't show
awful.
the killer killing the real victims because they still have living family members, and that's super fucked up.
It is because, yeah,
Like, I
because
wouldn't.
I don't know. It
There
is.
are Ted Bundy movies that are of lower budget that do show the murders, and
Yeah.
that doesn't, showing him committing the murders doesn't actually show the psychology of Ted Bundy. It's him luring the girls to their deaths that show the psychology of Ted Bundy.
Exactly. And also, I think we can just be past that and stop making more movies about the same guy. Like, we're good. We're good.
Hmm.
If you want to learn about it, watch a documentary.
Hmm.
We don't need like movie productions about
Yeah.
it.
And a theater I worked pretty closely with a lot for my
Mhm.
play workshops was
Yeah.
going to do a stream of a play called
Mhm.
Bodies or something. It's a Jeffrey Dahmer play.
Oh,
But after getting some complaints from people about how, um
we don't need that on the
yeah,
stage.
Jeffrey Dahmer specifically, his victims were all people of color.
Yeah.
I remember watching a documentary saying that
Yeah.
there wasn't a trend with the people he chose to kill, and then they show a picture and they're all black
They're
men,
all
black and
yeah, except for
brown
like
men.
there was like one like maybe Asian person. I feel like there's maybe
Mm.
one white man, a
Yeah,
hitchhiker.
but
He
they
was
were
white, but that's it.
predominantly men of color.
All black.
So,
Yeah.
who definitely, because Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer was active in the 1990s. So their family members are still alive, and
Yes,
just
they
the
are.
sympathetic portrayals of the guy who murdered their family members. I
Mm-hmm.
can't imagine going through that, and that's something I'm exploring in my novel, is how
Mm,
true crime affects those
cool.
who care about the victims.
Yeah, that's very cool. I
Because
love
especially in
that.
the TikTok and YouTube age, where
Yeah,
these um, experts reach out to victims' families to say, "Hey, can you talk about this, or do you want to talk about this?"
right.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, we need to like assess, and we are starting to assess how we consume true crime as a community, as like
Mm-hmm.
culturally.
Yeah.
Um, and for the love of God, don't dress up as Steve Irwin with the stingray tentacle in his chest.
Oh, that's maybe the worst you
Yeah,
could do. It's very
but
sad.
yeah, consume true crime media, but remember that the victims are real people. You're not watching a horror movie.
Yeah, like it's not a movie, although
Yeah,
it's been made into one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, that doesn't
excellent point.
suddenly turn
That
their
doesn't mean it's
victims into final
fiction.
girls.
Yes. And it doesn't erase like, reality. You
Yeah.
know, they
I
really are
remember
out there.
there was
Yeah.
that Hilary Duff movie that came
Yeah.
out, The Haunting of Sharon Tate, and Sharon Tate's family just like ripped it apart because it does show the murder, and they're like, "Why are you exploiting my sister's death like this?"
Oh, like the actress.
Hmm. The Charles
And
Manson.
yes, yeah. And Hilary Duff played her?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't look in this movie. Okay, cool. I didn't know
I've
she
heard
was
it's
still doing
very bad.
anything. Oh, really? Yeah, I was like, I don't think she was doing anything.
Um, that yeah, all of that stuff is pretty scary. I'm glad they kind of touched on it because yeah, dressing up as Art the Clown in the town where he committed the murders would be
Only
such a
1 year late.
Would be such a fucking douche move.
Right, like only 1 year later.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that is a douche move. And I guess I could like make you question like your little brother, and especially the fact that if he like becomes obsessed with serial killers, wants to idolize a murderer, maybe he killed the possum. You know, if he just wets his bed and lights something on fire, then like he's definitely gonna be a murderer. You know what I mean? So that's why they're all worried.
Yeah. Gotta head out soon, so I'll give this a yeah, that fucked me up. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this whole movie was like totally bonkers insane, but I really, really enjoyed it much more than the first one. So I'll give it an oh yeah, that fucked me up as well, guys.
Yeah.
Run, don't walk to watch it if you haven't already, because I can see like this would have been really sick to watch in the theaters, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, this is a super fun movie. I still say if you're not super into gore, like if the Saw movies make you squeamish, maybe not.
Maybe not this one, because it even made me squeamish at some points, and that usually doesn't happen.
It's the squishiness of it.
It's the yeah, you're right. It's how it looks, and then also coupled with whoever did the sound engineering was out of this world, because I was like, oh my god, the sound is disgusting.
I'm sure that was their goal, was to make one of the grossest, goriest movies ever, and good job.
Oh
good
yeah,
job.
I think it's excellent.
I'm worried about the third one and how they're gonna up it.
What more can you do? A bigger gun, like a bazooka, and then
if he has a fucking bazooka, I'm leaving the theater.
Just because, and it sucks because it's like one of the first weapons that comes out in the first movie. It was like one of the last, but it was still shocking. But now it was like one of the first. I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna have like guns.
Like in the first movie, he pulled it out because the final girl, the fake out final girl, the Nev Campbell lookalike, was beating his ass.
Yeah, I know. And he was like, oh shit, I gotta bulk up for the next one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, I liked it. Yeah. It was fun.
It was very fun, and it was very good, and I really, really enjoyed it. So, and I loved Lauren LaVerge. She's very cool.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. I can't wait to see her in the next one.
Me too, and maybe other stuff, guys. Come on, put her in more horror movies. Okay, so Sam's gonna go. I'm gonna read the outro notes. Sam, anything else you want to say before I read them?
I don't think so. Art the Clown should see a dentist.
Yeah, did you notice that his teeth were like more out this one? I don't know. They probably got like all new stuff that's much better than the other stuff they had, and it's all nicer looking.
Bad teeth is also something that just makes me nauseous in horror movies. Like, it's such a insignificant thing, but it's there. In college, I remember watching one. I can't tell you the name of it because it was just one of those random ones on Netflix. Yeah. And I went to get a piece of pizza from 7-Eleven for dinner, and I came back to finish watching it, and there was this hick girl that had yellow teeth, and I was just like, I can't finish eating this pizza.
Yeah, that really does disgust me too, because I'm a real stickler for like nice teeth. So like even if like, and I don't know if you noticed this, and we can talk off mic about it, but like have you been watching that yet? The new season?
Not yet. We should start it this weekend though.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through, but like you'll notice that like for some reason Joe has a beard, but like it's making his teeth look like more gappy and like buck teeth, like bad. He looks bad. So I'm just like, what is going on with his teeth? Were they always like that? So like even stuff like that bothers me. So I feel you. All right. Anyway, Real Horror Show was created by Sam Odie and Stormy Skies and is directed by Sam Odie. Today we learned that you should not put your candles near your angel wings. Yeah. Might just catch on fire. What else? Don't try to catch an opossum thrown at you, or you will be accused of being a psycho.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Like what you hear, you can find a Real Horror Show on Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play Store, Stitcher, iTunes, and Pandora. Really, really like what you hear? Follow us on Twitter at Horror Show Pod, or search for Real Horror Show on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook at Real Horror Show. Like our page and share our stuff. We also have a website that has all of our written reviews and podcasts, and they can be found at realhorrorshow.com. We also have an Instagram and a TikTok, realhorrorshow.com. All right. Want to interact with us? Want to make sure we're real humans, not space vampires? Comment on our website or email us at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Want to argue with us about something, or think you have a really great horror movie review that you're dying to share with two random strangers from the internet? Well, submissions are open for movie reviews. Check out the submit page on our website and follow the rubric before sending us anything. If it's not done according to the rubric, it will be disregarded. Sorry, not sorry. We love horror, and if you're listening, you do too. Please help us keep our project going by visiting our support page on our website, where you can make a one-time donation via PayPal. We also have an Amazon wish list. If you feel like buying us something tangible will help convey your love more than a monetary donation would. Also, you can find the Buy Us a Coffee button on our website. It's a button that you can click that will pay us the amount you would need to buy a coffee. A little bit goes a long way. Sometimes we can't help out artists monetarily, and that's okay. By simply liking, sharing, retweeting, and even giving us an awesome review will help us out tremendously. And any other pertinent news other than today's Happy St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day and the first night of the Taylor Swift Eras tour. Woo!
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's why I was like wondering. Starbucks posted on Instagram about Taylor Swift, and I was like, why are they doing that now? That's probably why.
Yeah.
I'm just so under a rock these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grad school will do that to you.
Yeah. I've always been this way, Sam. Okay. I just depend on you to tell me what's up.
I try.
Like the cool kid that you are, yeah. Because you are baby. You are a young person.
I'm a year younger than you.
I know, but still. I thought we were the same age. Okay, anyway. Our outro song is called Creepy Doll by Jonathan Fulton. Thank you, fuck off, and have a swell evening. And this is Real Horror Show signing off.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And there's a creepy doll that always follows me.